Sled hockey is a division of USA Hockey for physically disabled youth and adults. USA Hockey has 4 divisions in disabled hockey: sled hockey, special hockey, blind hockey, and deaf hockey. The only one that we have here is the sled hockey, and it is for anyone of any age with a physical disability. They cannot stand up to skate. And sled hockey puts them in a sled on the ice. They propel themselves with 2 sticks, which they also shoot the puck with. We have a grandson who's 10 years old with a physical disability, and he is into any sport he can possibly get into, any adaptive sport. He uses a wheelchair for mobility, and we saw probably at the last Paralympics, saw some of the sled hockey games on television, and he was interested. And I contacted USA Hockey, and they invited us to a meeting in DC to tell us how to set up a program here. That was in June 2014, and that fall we started with about 8 players, and we're up to 13 this year. And they ranged in age from 10 to 34. Each player pays USA Hockey $45, and that covers their liability insurance coverage on the ice. And the first 2 years we did have to charge because we pay for ice time, $125 an hour. But this year we were able to fundraise and do grant writing, and we were able to subsidize everything. All of the equipment we've either fundraised for or it's been donated. We have several types of volunteers that we're looking for. First and foremost, we need people to help the players get into their sleds and out on the ice. Many of them are not ambulatory. They cannot get into their sleds by themselves. So we need adults to physically help them out of their wheelchairs into the sleds. Some of them are ambulatory and they can do fine, but they're still, you're getting into the sled outside off the ice, and then you have to be pushed onto the ice. So we need adults to help with that. There are some requirements for the volunteers. They do have to join USA Hockey. That's free. But that does give them liability and coverage in case someone was injured. They also take a safe sport training class since they're working with youth, and that is also free. It's offered online, and you take it every 2 years. And there's also a background screening through USA Hockey, and that does cost $25, and that is also done every 2 years. And that's for our volunteers' safety and protection, of course. Other areas that we need help with as far as volunteers is trying to keep the equipment straight, because we're working with a lot of youth and they're growing, so we have to keep increasing the size of their equipment, and it gets a little difficult to keep it all labeled in the right boxes and where we can find it easily. So that's another area where we can use volunteers, and also with the grant writing and fundraising, because I've been doing that myself, and it's getting a little overwhelming. Our practice is Monday night from 5:45 to 6:45. Our volunteers who are physically helping on ice, or who would get the players on and off the ice and help with the equipment, would probably want to come about a half hour early and stay about a half hour late to get everything cleaned up. So it's about a 2-hour time commitment from October till mid-March, once a week. Right now we only do practices, and they're at the rink in South Charleston, out by Target. We do not have a sufficient number of players who want to travel to play games, but that is an option for the individual players to do. We've had 2 players so far. They are assigned to typically a team in Ohio, and then they travel to various tournaments during the year and play on that team. So they're actually registered on 2 teams, and we hope eventually to be able to take a team ourselves to some of the tournaments, but that we haven't gotten that far yet. They can call me at 304-342-1459.